Hey, what's going on, my tech friends? Check this out. Now today we're doing something that's really kind of interesting and kind of different here on Tech of Tomorrow, something you don't normally do. And that is, we're going to be showing you guys how to do liquid cooler coloring. That's right, liquid cooler coloring. Like, what the frack does that mean? Well, basically means you have a liquid cooler and you want to change the colors in it. Now nowadays, a lot of people do a lot of different builds, and there's a lot of different companies out there. Today we're going to be featuring a kit from the people over at Mayhem. We want to send a special thanks out to Michael Wood for sending us this kit. And now we're going to show you just a couple different color variations that are available. Now they have a lot of different kits out. The one that we got, it just was basically a sample kit. But you guys all know, if you've done anything in art or anything in school, you can basically create a bunch of different colors off basic colors. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to start off right now. I'm going to put some white stuff in here. Now the exact name of this stuff is the Pastel Ice White Concentrate. I'm going to begin by just pouring a little bit of this in here. Make it nice and a little frosty in there so you guys can see that. If you guys want to make it darker white, you can, so I'll show you guys that as well. This would be cool and build like the Tron that we were doing. Actually, we're going to modify the Tron and actually create a water cooling kit. Anthony's all pissed off at me about that. He's like, why? It's done. But I'm like, he's even flipped me off in the background now, but still, it has to happen. So we're going to be using this kind of stuff. Now check it out. It's all dark, nice, thick white liquid. With lighting and stuff, it'll actually change the dimensions, not the dimensions, but rather the color and the way you view the color, not dimensions. I'm in another dimension. No, all right then. So next up, we're going to throw in a couple drops of red. It's suggested you just use a couple of drops and then see where you guys want to go with it. You guys will know what I mean. So we're going to take 1, 2, and 3 little drops in there. You can see now we've got kind of a milky type of red. I can add more to it. Get it to be a thicker type of red. Now, by the way, without any type of white in there and using the red, you get a much darker red. But we're going to go for kind of right now, kind of a military green type theme. Because actually, Anthony's next build is going based on the Bomber. So it's got the Corsair 900D and the Bomber case by that cool dude Bill Owens who kicked that thing down to us. Yep, thank you, Mr. Bill Owens. A shout out to you for that awesome case, which Anthony will be working on next. And so we're going to be showing you like basically how to do that. So this color, by the way, for the actual name will be Mayhem 15 ml Red. That's what this particular stuff is. We'll have all this information down below in the details, below the like button and everything later. But for now, let's just move forward. So this one right here is Mayhem UV Green. UV Green, ultraviolet, a couple drops in there. 1, 2, 3, almost 3, there we go. Kind of 3 big drops. You guys can see it change the color now. Now we've got kind of an orange thing going on. So you guys can see the orange all inside of there. It's kind of cool. Drop a couple more drops in there. Change the color up a little bit more. You guys can see it's changing. And then for this particular, for the first demonstration we're doing, we'll tap it around a little bit there like a mixed drink. Get it all mixed drinky in there. You guys can see it turned to kind of a darker orange. But there's so many different colors that are available just by adding the different chemicals inside of them. We're just going to show you a few today because it's kind of cool. Now we're going to go with what they call blue, just plain blue. I guess the 15 ml is just how much is in here. So this is just blue. 1, 2, 3. And now you can see we're kind of getting towards the military-ish green. It's hard for me to see because I'm over here. The people in the background should, I'll be relying on them slightly for their thumbs up or their crazy looks as it gets the right color, because right now it's not the proper color, but we're getting there. Add a little bit more blue into the mix, and then we start seeing that military green looking stuff. Now this actually to me doesn't look totally military green, and we've sat here today and done a bunch of them. I wanted to film them all. I guess if we could have been here all day long doing it. Different ones create different colors. This to me isn't totally the military green that I particularly was looking for with this, but it's another color variation. Now we're going to stop for a second. We're going to drain this thing out. We're going to start with another color and just show you guys some different variations that can be done. By the way, you guys at home who have ever tried this, we'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And I think it's kind of cool to like the way that we did this thing for a test station though, because it gives you a good kind of look at what it'll look like in both the tube and inside of the tubes inside of your test station. So with that said, we'll be back in a minute with a new color. All right, folks, well, we drained the system, and now we're back. So once again, we're going to start with that pastel white base. This time we're going to go for something a little different, a little kind of like more along the lines of our Metro, not quite exactly, so one little pour of that. The Metro, now they're being very specific that I need to do just 3 drops, like we're like militant about it out here. So this one right here is UV yellow-green, 3 drops, no more! Like frickin' bakers who are like, you know, gonna have a hernia or something on me. You've ruined my design, Herman! I just work here. So let's see here. All right, 3 drops. 1 drop. 2 drops. 3 drops. Look at that. It's getting all yellowy, yellowy, yellowy. Now, we're going to go to a different color. And this one right here is ocean blue. Where once again, the militant color people are saying 3 drops. So here we go. A 1. Oh, a 2. And then 3 drops. Now check that out. Looking pretty cool. Now to me, it's looking kind of Gatorade-y. Kind of glowing Gatorade-y. Or you know those sticks you use, those nice sticks that you break at night? You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys use them at Halloween? That's kind of really what it looks like quite a bit. I think you guys agree. That's what it looks like. But there you guys can see another color variation. Now, just for shits and giggles, because I'm here, I'm just going to randomly grab something over here and still add more color. Like this one over here is kind of interesting. It looks pink. Let's see what it is. It's pink. So let's see what happens when we have all this UV color and we add just 1 drop of pink. It's getting murky, getting more swamp-like. Mix that stuff around real good. Not too much of a color difference there. Let's go ahead and make sure I've got pink in. Let's add the 2 more required drops. A 1. And then lastly, a 2. Get it all in the tube and get an interesting color right there. Now, I don't know exactly what color this is. I'm trying to mix it all around there like a bartender here. I don't know exactly what color that is, but I don't know. Root beer? I mean, hey, I don't know. But hey, it's just a color variation. I'm going to keep going with this because it's kind of fun. So let's just see what else we can do here. I've got over here some UV green. So let's see what happens when you add UV green on top of all these other colors. 1 drop, 2 drops, and 3 drops. Couple taps, mix it around like a bartender. Woo! Oh boy, that is looking awfully kind of wacky. Crazy colors are. Let's just keep going though. What do I got here? Gonna keep going. Red. Let's add a little red to the mix. Just keep going. We're gonna start over again, folks, but I figure what the hell. So 1, 2, 3 drops of red back inside of there. See what we get going on here. Mix it all up in there, get it off the walls. Now you guys can see we've once again got to a kind of orange color once again. This is kind of a burnt orange this time. So you guys can see just by adding different colors, you can get this. So if you guys had a system that was all like burnt orangey, you could do that. We'll keep going, add a little bit of blue, see what we get, see what we do when we add a little blue. So here we go. 1, a 2, up, 2, there we go, and lastly 3. Now, this to me looks almost exactly like where we got with the original coloring that we were doing. So it just shows if you actually just mix a whole lot of colors, eventually you kind of get to green, one type of green. Hence, you know what? I think that if you mix them all together, you just call that sewage, because isn't that basically what sewage is? It's every different color, every different type of thing turned into green. And that's what we've got here, the motley green. So let's start over again though, using a different color base and see what we can come up with. All right, folks, so now after another draining, I am back. Now this time we're going to do something a little different this time, and we're going to start off with a different base. This time it's going to be Pastel Sunset Yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the top off that bad boy and get just basically kind of about half a capful probably in there. and pour it into the cap and just pour that stuff over on into here. Pa-boom. Right off the bat, you guys can see it makes a cool looking yellow, kind of toxic. This is almost kind of almost on the way towards the Metro theme here. You guys can see it's got that. Next up, I've got, once again, we used this before. This is the UV yellow green. I'm going to use 3 drops of this stuff in here. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And then tap the old thing to get the old liquid down there. Tap, 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 tap. Another tap, tap, tap. Now you guys can see it already starting to get all blingied up. Now this right here resembles pretty closely what we used in the Metro. Metro a little bit more, I think, but this is getting pretty close. Now we got one more we're going to use right here, and this one's called Pastel. It's blueberry. That's right. So I'm going to take some little blueberry. And I don't really know how much blueberry to use, so I'll pour some out and I'll try it in little small steps and we'll see how it looks. So here, blueberry is a different color altogether. So check that out. This is going to be pretty awesome looking. It's a toxic green now. Look at that. Totally awesome. I'm going to add just a little bit more blue in there to give it that extra bling, bling, bling. And look at that. That is just amazing looking. Now that's really cool. So many different color variations can be used by just taking more or adding, actually, or adding more, adding less, actually. So, like I'm saying, you can go forever with this. I'm just showing you guys a bunch of different ways with acrylic bases. I think this looks pretty awesome looking. Now we're going to once again change the color base and show you guys another color theme. So let's go. All right, folks, so now we're going to bring you something a little cooler. For those people out there who like purple and wine, this is for you. So we're going to start off with the blueberry. That's right. Blueberry is always a tasty flavor, right? So once again, going to come over here, pour ourselves about a half of capful of that, dump it on down into the chamber. Now, first off, I really want to say how cool this looks by itself, though. Like I could really right now, instead of going the direction we're going, I could take this and add a darker blue and make this a darker blue in the tube. You guys can see this is like an aqua color blue. So if you guys want to make a color like that, you could also make it like Windex color depending on what you're looking for. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to add a little bit of UV pink. Basically probably the 3 drops, and this is going to color this into purple. So we're going to do the 1, the 2, and the 3. And now you guys can see this is a badass looking purple. Really cool looking. Actually kind of matches the Tech of Tomorrow theme, actually. Tech of Tomorrow, if you go to our YouTube channel, it's this kind of purple is actually kind of, prevalent inside of our color design. So like I said, if you also want to take this to a wine color though, you could just add a little bit of red. You add a little bit of red, you can make this look like wine. Red, red wine. 3 drops will be fine. All right, so there we go. Mix that in there. Now, to me, this kind of turned actually a darker purple. Not quite the wine I was looking for, but let's now take a little bit of blue and let's see what happens when we add a little bit of blue into the mixture as well. So we get another 3 drops. 2 and 3. Now it's starting to get a little bit of that green color. Not totally though. Still getting darker and darker purple as we go. Now, I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, see what else I can get going here. Because this, to me, is all experimentation, folks. Really, the point of this video was to basically show you guys that Mayhem has this really cool bunch of different kits that you can get. And with those kits, with enough time and enough trial and error, you can pretty much make whatever color you so desire. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of trial and error. You're going to have to do some experimenting at home. This was really cool that Anthony made this because it gives us an excellent way that we can test everything outside of the case first and get a pretty close, accurate, measurement of what we're doing. It's not quite totally scientific, but if we had a half a spoon of this, a drop of that, it would eventually equal to this, kind of like baking a cake. So right now we've got this color. I will go ahead and just add a couple more. I think we've got some of this ocean blue here. See what ocean blue does to this. 1, 2, 3. Ocean blue in. And on me too. I'm ocean blue and so are you. So basically it just seems like it's getting to be, but this basic blueberry theme, it's getting darker and darker purple. So instead of getting green, unless I add more blue, you can see this will just keep going more and more towards purple. Now, I'll add a little bit more red just to see what it'll do. Because this actually, I would think, would take it to be now at this point more to be a wine type of color. And there we go. And I'll be back in just a second with more on liquid cooler coloring. All right, folks, so here we go. The last round, we're going to start off, and now we're going to try to make something called some orange and some toxic orange. So I'm going to start off once again with some red here. Pastel red. I'm going to open that bad boy up. Put a little bit in the chamber. You guys saw once before we used a little bit of red. Now we're going to use some more red. Put that in there. Now, even if you use a very light amount of this, you get kind of a semi-orange color even right now. So get a little bit more in there. The nice solid red color starting off there. Now we're going to move up. Now we're going to use some of the Sunset Yellow Concentrate. Once again, this is a pastel color. Whoa, a little spillage there. A little nuclear waste. Get that going a little bit more orange in there. The brighty. All right, so check that out. So now we've got a really cool looking orange going on. Pretty cool, right? Now we're going to move it up a notch. We're going to throw in some ice white and change up the color a little bit more. Now you guys can see, get a little bit of a different color there. I'm going to step it up a little bit now. I'm going to use some UV green. Now we're getting an even different type of color orange in there. With your base color that you start off with, you're going to get a lot of colors that are similar in that same range of colors. Try to take that, into mind. So if you put white, you start pulling color, it's going to be a lighter version of each one of those as you add more different colors and mix them around. Now I'm going to continue on adding a little bit of blue, and we'll see what blue does. Now blue usually always turns everything to green, so let's see if it turns this once again to green. And yep, now we see once again another type of green. So check that out, shake that up. Now, that to me doesn't actually look that green. That actually looks kind of more like a root beer brown or kind of maybe a light wine, or like I was saying before, you could make your system trying to make it look like oil. This does have a very oil type of look to it. It's a light oil. You could darken this up, make it a little bit darker, and you would have something that definitely looked like oil. So that's pretty much it, folks. I mean, the main purpose of this video was just to thank the people over at Mayhem for sending us out this color package. We want to show you guys how simple it was, though, to actually go ahead and experiment to get the exact color that you want. So no matter what color that you want in the spectrum, Mayhem has a color that'll match. Now, this particular kit is one. They also have a brand new kit that they just came out with. If you guys are interested in doing stuff like this, you guys might want to hit up Michael Wood and his company Mayhem. Now, all this stuff is made in England, so it's got a little bit of fish and chips in every single purchase. That's right. No, I'm just kidding. But that's pretty much it, folks. Hope you guys liked this video. It's a little bit something different that we normally do around here, but we thought you guys might like to see something cool like this. This test station, all the parts and everything are in it. We'll have Anthony Reynolds give us a list of what he used to make this. So if you guys are looking to make something similar yourself, you can do so. So thanks for watching Tech of Tomorrow. Everything will be down below that like button, which I hope you guys will hit and appreciate this video, in the description. If you're not subbed and you like this type of stuff, then hey, hit that sub button and subscribe to Tech of Tomorrow. We'll see you guys back here for more tech goodness tomorrow.